Hello, everybody. Today is Saturday, November the 6th. And as I mentioned, I was going to record a couple of more podcasts today. And I am proceeding with doing a tarot card reading. Today, I am going to actually work with all of my tarot cards, besides the Moonology cards. For whatever reason, I don't see them. I might have dropped them on the floor somewhere. But, um, so I'm going to proceed with my Moonology cards. Excuse me, my Secrets of the Tarot deck cards, which are these here. My most favorite cards. And then the AE Weight, uh, these, and then my Moonology cards. Okay, now we're going to begin. So, before I begin to lay the cards, I'm going to say a prayer. Father, Supreme Being of all being, I don't know what I'm doing this reading on today, but I do feel like it is an informative reading, so it may be on some insight in regards to something that I did my podcast about on something faith-based. So we will proceed. Give me wisdom, knowledge, infinite understanding, and insight, and in this reading. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Right now, the reading that I'm doing is on the Four of Cups. So it says money fluctuation being offered something you may not want. The barrier, I have happiness, good things, party, or celebration. What's above the situation? I have sickness, bad illness, needing to take time out, rest and relaxation is needed here. Card 4, this is the issue. Death or ending of situation or relationship. Card 5, I have peace of mind, joining of two people. Card 6, I have raising salary, raising money or salary. Okay, so in just pulling those cards right now, um, I did a podcast earlier this morning on, or this noon, um, on the religion of Santeria, and I think this is some insight in regards to some things I said about the religion of Santeria. Um, so in relation to that reading, it's letting me know that there is some barriers or some blockages in happiness in relation to um not getting what they want. That's essentially what it's letting me know. They're not getting what they want. And when they don't get what they want, they they provide a service or offering. In other words, so you get an exchange of gifts, knowledge, whatever. So this is a trade-off, kind of like commodity trade-off, supply and demand, commodity type of exchange, like an exchange service for commodities or products or commerce, is what it's letting me know. Um, so it also mentions, says, um, a lot of these people are plagued with concerns, particularly mental concern as well as illnesses, because card 3, I have sickness, bad illness, needed to take time out, rest, and relaxation is needed here. So it's letting me know that A lot of these people are played with because of the lack of proper nutrition, adequate um, things that they need. He's letting me know that um, the issue is death. Like these people are faced with death defying things right now. And they resort to doing these and performing these rituals as a trade off to get whatever needs the need met. Typically, if it's something medical related or particularly, mental related, this is their trade off. So in what's occurring and what has occurred, you notice how you have the what? That medical sign there, I forgot what you call it. He said this is why the joining of the people come together because this is their trade-off. A lot of these people, this is how they make their living. So, in exchange for, in other words, they exchange practitioners to practice and study them and pretty much test them in order to survive. This is how I survive. This is a trade-off. You got to give something to get. We have no means of supporting ourselves. So this is our mere means of supporting ourselves. We don't fit the typical mold, if you will, to attain the things that, the house, the car, the 2 plus 5 kids, the dog. He said, this is our mode, this is our means of survival, is what it's letting me know. Attitude. For the attitude, which is card 7, it says, to a one short journey, movement to or near water. He's letting me know. He says, this is the issue. If we don't do these things, we wouldn't even make it. Like we literally would not make it, is what he's letting me know. We wouldn't even make it to the teens, let alone the 20s. We wouldn't make it. Because they totally forget about us. Like we are ostracized. Like we are totally, no one pays us any attention, is what he says. So if we don't do these things, we would not be able to survive, is what he says. Because people has totally forgotten about us. Totally. Okay, so card 8 is what? What is physical surroundings? So I have the world card. This is something that is occurring around the world. It's not just Cuba, because when I did the podcast or episode on my podcast, Spiritual Sense, I mentioned about the practice and the religion of Santeria. He said Santeria is worldwide. They may refer to it as hoodoo, voodoo, or whatever. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. People have means of covering things up and making it seem pretty, such as like putting makeup on something. It's ultimately the same thing. Just like you could go put a wig on, a man and put makeup on, it's still a man. This is something that has happened around the world. This is how they're able to obtain. It's an exchange of commodity, service, commerce. This is how we're able to survive. Otherwise, we would have died years ago. Card 9. So card 9 says 9 of Wands. Undecided. Need to take a step out of the situation. Then you will see more clearly. So as I mentioned, card 9 is what? Hopes, fears, and dreams. So and this is card 9, and I'm gonna show you card 9. So it lets me know um if we don't do this, I already said it. We wouldn't know where to go. Undecided. Before I even flipped it over, we wouldn't know where to go or what to do. Outcome. Queen of Swords, woman over 25, brown eyes, brown hair, cold, hard, demanding authority. He said this is something that this is coming from elder generations. Like, this is old school. This is, the motherland. This is something that is ingrained in us. This is second nature. This stuff, a lot of people talking about, turn the other cheek and all that. We don't know nothing about that. We don't do that. I'm just laying it out. He said we don't care anything about that. It's survival. This is what it is, and this is what it's going to be. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. This is what it let me know. Take it or leave it. But this is what this is, and this is what it's going to be. I feel like all these readings that I'm doing today, I don't have my Moonology cards. They are over there. I don't really think I need them. But these readings are a continuation of that Santeria belief. So I'm going to proceed with my AE weight cards. So let me do my quick scramble. They said this is the way it is. And see, I found a little, I guess what you call a boncana, I don't even know. A little, I don't know how to put the term. I call it a little señoria or a little Spanish store. And I was going to go into the store, but somehow I got sidetracked and wasn't able to go into the store. I think I'm going to visit the store because I want to see if I can find me some things to go on my altar. And or what have you. Okay. So I did a quick shuffle. So like I said, scramble. You just take them, go around as such. All right, I'm just gonna pull from the middle. Let's just scramble. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Would you believe it? The Devil card. Okay. This is the issue. King of Swords. What's above the issue? The Moon. What is the issue? Knight of Wands. Three of Pentacles. Card 6. Queen of Wands. I don't know why I keep pulling this card. And just pulling those cards. This lets me know this is something that is transpiring in a lot of the religion in the churches. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna put it out there. It just let me know when I pulled that Moon card He says, to those who are out there who think that no one knows, it is being revealed. A lot of these things are transpiring in these churches. Plain and simple. They'll sit here and talk this Bible stuff. They don't care nothing about you. The only thing they're concerned about is their house note and their car note, mortgage, and all that. They don't care nothing about you, baby. At all. They make decisions based on their personal needs. And what they do is condition people to feel like they're less than in order to what? Forefront their own happiness. Everything revolves around them. He said, no, 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 no. Somebody got them wrong. Somebody has them wrong. And you are to tell them so. They think the world revolves around them. He said, no, sir. He said, you need to inform them. The world does not revolve around you. It's what he said. A lot of this stuff is coming out of these churches, and you will be very surprised because as I'm talking about the Santeria right now, but as I mentioned, I said that the atheists and the agnostic movement are booming in the younger population, like the 20s. This Santeria is old school. This is what these cards is revealing to me. This is the old heads, the Santeria. This is the old heads right here. This is you might have a lot. That's not to say that a lot of the younger population are not indulging into these particular practices. But from what I see with these cards here, he said this is coming from a lot of these old schools. Like people that are, he said you'll be surprised at how many of them that's into this Santeria. He said is from what I gathered from these cards. He said even the ones that are on the board of officials, such as the decision makers, the quote unquote professionals or the clean collar, the ones who you would not even think, the one the good boy or the good girl image. He said those are the main forefronts behind this practice and this religion. I kid you not. I didn't go off and talk to nobody. This is the spirits speaking to do. This is my spirit God speaking through me and giving me this insight. Attitude. The fool. He said they're very deceptive. They think they're fooling somebody. They very cunning is what he says. He said they're very manipulative. Makaija, what are you in that spraying? Come out of that bathroom and turn that light off. He says that he said they are very foolish, and he said they're very deceptive. They think they're fooling somebody. He said that, but they will be fooled. He said they will be fooled. The Empress card. When I get the Empress card, typically is in relation to media. It could be communication, mass communication, media, or what have you. But right now, I feel like the focus, like the media, is focused on them right now to watch and study them. You have to watch and study these individuals because they're very deceptive. And they have a cunning way of doing things. It's all about them. They're very manipulative. Card 9. This is what they're fear of. They are in fear of somebody putting them out of the workforce or putting them out of their official committees and board. They like to sit on the board of directors where they make the decisions. This is what they're afraid of being what exposed. I mentioned that I felt like the agnostic movement as well as the atheist movement was being financed in the younger um population right now. I definitely feel this way towards Santeria. Like Santeria is it's way more widespread than people will even admit to or even know. The outcome. So I have here King of Wands. He says these people, what they do is they band together and they take over certain professions all over the world and they write a checkbook and live happily ever after. Let me give you a personal opinion. This COVID vaccination stuff, who's writing the checkbooks? You better start studying while you sit back worrying about how many helpings I have when I go eat dinner at the restaurant. That's what your mind needs to be on. Who's writing the checkbooks and who's profiting off of the poisons that a lot of these people are trying to forefront? These people don't care nothing about you. And it's easy to be out of sight, out of mind. That means if I don't have to see or be bottled by my own guilt and catastrophe, do you think I care anything about third world countries going to hell because of me living privileged and nice? Do you think they are concerned about it? Because oftentimes they're not. So you better be very careful as to not only the cars you buy, but the things that you use. You catch my drift? Do you think people have people that are in these positions are concerned about your well-being? They're not. They can sit here in front. God, let me explain something to you. Satan is very deceptive. He will put the spirit in you to show empathy when you don't give a damn about the next person. I have seen it with my own eyes. I even experienced it a time or two. He will. They can sit there and talk all that talk. They don't care about their own ass, let alone you. So that's the food for thought, just in case. And like I said, let me also state my disclaimer in this podcast and also on this webinar. This is my personal opinions. If just so happen it doesn't coincide with what you believe, you chose to click on here. Okay? Now, moving forward. So, we will begin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So I pulled this spiritual strength card on the last tarot card reading I did on last night. So here it is popping up again. Right now I show that is what the reading is on. He said this is what the barrier is. They don't want people to know. It's the point. He says a lot of them don't want people to know. You know, it's in the upper. It's it's coming from a higher power. He said they don't want people to know. They don't want people to know how the spirit realm can what manifest into our physical uh nature based logic reasoning realm and space. A lot of people don't want people to know that, but it is real and it's true. This is the issue. Solitude card. He says he wants They don't want people. They don't want it to be revealed. This is the issue. They don't want it to be exposed. They don't want it to be revealed. They don't want people to know how spirituality honestly and truly works. They don't want people to know that. We have base chakra. We have triumphant success. It lets me know this is what a lot of people in highly intelligence type of professions and careers, they honestly use these practices and have infiltrated with these practices as well. Many people don't like people knowing that. They don't. Um, you'll be very surprised, but a lot of them do use those practices. This is the attitude. It has emotional withdrawal. Um, so in that, a lot of them tend to try to remain private and not communicate those things to people. Like they're more reserved, keep to themselves.